WWE fans, welcome to the evolving version of our usual show. We are now the Backstage Jabronis, everything WWE, all their PLEs, all the Raws, all the Smackdowns. We're going to talk all that each and every week. That is our new thing to you because we wanted to be on here every week and not just once every couple weeks. And when I say we, you should. I am pointing the right way. I never know with this camera. You should know my tag team partner, Daniel Snyder, up here beside us. How are you, Daniel?
Always good. Always good. This will kind of force me to not slack on missing an episode of Smackdown or Raw. I already catch Raw every week. Smackdown I slack on now. I think it's gonna be fun. It's just gonna be very interesting, and it'll hopefully start growing the channel and getting more eyes on us, where we can
Yeah,
do this for our
absolutely.
job. We can both leave our jobs we're at. This is our career.
I'm not opposed to that. As long as the only people that would object are a couple of them in this room that will just want to make sure there's enough food in the bowl, enough water in the tin, and as long as there's enough there, I think they're good with anything I do.
Hey, and maybe we'll get to a time when if you say our names, we'll appear.
Yeah, I mean that guy's just blowing up everywhere. It's I feel bad for TNA. They're going to lose their world champion very very soon.
Yeah,
The same way they lost their women's champion.
but kind of like also it looks like NXT's about to lose her women's champion because she's
Yeah.
been making back-to-back appearances on Raw recently.
Yep. A couple of them have, and I think that's something I want to get into here in a minute. Is I think the people you have been seeing show up on Raw are going to be part of the Raw call up or the draft or however they want to bridge them from one to the other. Sooner rather than later, you're going to see pretty much everybody you've seen the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's getting interesting.
But shout out to Professor Payne from Deep South Wrestling. I was able to pick up one of his brand new shirts. Just like I was telling Daniel, he is one of the most organic, fun, positive people. Maybe that's why I gravitate to him because that is just how I like to operate. But Professor Payne, one of the definitely one of the brightest spots of Deep South Wrestling. They've got some shows coming up. I think they're in Greenville, South Carolina tomorrow. I will be right here for that show. I will not be in Greenville. It's just I'm usually at the New Realm shows among others, but more about them throughout the week. Let's start with SmackDown because that was the thing that happened just after last we spoke. I'll kind of start going through some. We'll obviously stop at some of the big things, but if something sticks out or if there's something you really want to get into, just kind of speak up.
Gotcha.
We got to start with the continuation that they did start with John Cena being interrupted by Randy Orton, and they act the banter that they have. Uh, Man, it is in the PG-13 era. They are getting deep into each other pretty well. I love the things they're saying. They're bringing up some really, really true things that were just rumors until now. And so far, every time they meet ends in an RKO of John Cena.
Yeah, you can see the chemistry's there. I don't want to say what I feel they're leading up to until next Thursday when we talk about Backlash when we're leading into it.
Yep.
But um, they've always had good chemistry. You can tell that they're real life good friends. I think Randy said many times that he admires John, and John wanted to get another run with Randy. This run might not be long; it might be a couple weeks. We know that Backlash is in St. Louis, um, which is Randy's backyard. Be it, but I I'm liking it. His segments with Randy are better than his segments. And it's not, and I'm like, I think because there's no chemistry with Cody. There's no chemistry there.
Right.
You can't
The
blame
only
Cody.
yeah, there's no Cena Cody chemistry that we know of. There's some behind the scenes, but we weren't there for that, and nobody seems to report on that, so we don't know. Obviously, Orton and Cody go way back because Orton used
Yes.
to be the mentor.
He's
Was it Legacy?
Yes, it was like
It
no,
was him and
yeah, it
DiBiase
was
Jr.
Legacy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, him and
but
DiBiase Jr.
he also rode with like Cody drove him around. Like they
Yeah,
literally rode together. And the infamous Randy Orton ripping a urinal off the wall happened in the presence of Cody when he was young. He said so I mean, there's a lot of stuff that people can get in and watch when hearing them to talk to each other. But but the whole John Cena Cody, we don't know much about their chemistry. And we know there's admiration between their real life good friends as well, regardless
yeah,
of the storyline.
yeah.
But this Randy Orton John Cena is going to be good. Just like later on in a couple months when it goes to John Cena CM Punk, that's going to be another good one because it's going to be people that he's worked with. But that's not taking anything from Cody. Cody is working good with these guys that's around his area, his generation. It's
Yeah.
just with John Cena. Just I feel like they tried to force it too much. They tried to force it when they should just let it
Mhm.
happen naturally.
Yeah. Yeah, something to be said for organically, and yeah, I will get more into it in the next couple of weeks for sure because I don't want to tip my pick for Cena Orton next week for
Okay,
Backlash.
I
But
like that.
like you said, you're looking forward to Cena Punk. I want to see Cena versus The Miz one more time because those two
I would like
had
that
a
too.
great chemistry together, and The Miz is just he's uh he's the unspoken Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins does a lot of the dirty work and picks up a lot of the heavy lifting on TV. The Miz is doing everything behind the scenes, and that needs to be said more.
The Miz has his hands full right now. Has his hands full with right now with Black.
He's got his mouth full of Aleister Black's foot. That's what he has.
Yes, yes, yes. So I mean, I was happy to see him back. We
Yeah,
knew he was coming back. I'm interested
great,
in
great way to come back.
100%. The Miz is the perfect beat. He's
Yep.
turning into the guy that when people are coming back, I'm surprised Rusev didn't beat the Miz up. The Miz has been the guy that everybody's beating up, that's getting beaten up. That's everybody's beating up when they're coming back.
Yeah, he's the
Um,
new gatekeeper. It used to be William Regal and Fit Finley, and now it looks like the Miz is that the new guys tend to work with him first.
yeah. So I mean, I know I stepped ahead a little bit onto the whole Aleister Black because he did return on SmackDown, didn't he?
He did. Yep,
Yeah, I'm
definitely like that. Him and Zelina back together. That's on screen because they. I don't know if they're married or what, but they have been a power couple for many years. Zelina Vega and Aleister Black, and they own a
did
gym
not know that.
together, a training ground, and everything down in Florida, I think. But yeah, it's good because they are really happy, positive people, and they look out for people. So I
Are
like
you
both of them. We'll get into Zelina in a second.
okay? Okay, okay, okay. So I was
Yeah.
like, are you talking about the new? Okay.
Yes, the and new Women's United States champion Zelina Vega, who beat Chelsea Green clean and basically ran her out of the company. It seems like maybe Chelsea's contract is up, and it looks like she's gone, like
That was
done.
weird. Yeah, it's weird how they did all that. I wouldn't be surprised if she didn't kind of ask to leave as well. I
It's
mean, because
possible.
like she was left off of WrestleMania as the champion. At least Valkyra, she was in a tag team match where
Hmm.
the United States Women's Champion did absolutely nothing.
Nope.
So they probably knew she was on her way out. I don't know why you wouldn't just let her lose her title at WrestleMania to Vega. That'd have been a great match.
Well, they didn't.
Um,
Where were they? They didn't really have time. Where were they going to put that on the pre-show?
yeah, I mean, instead of seeing Stone Cold run into a barrier, we could have had that match.
I blame his equipment because he can drive those things blindfolded,
Yeah,
and there's a lot of clips, and it looks like that thing locks up on him 2 or 3 times.
he was just having too much fun. But that match was that was a actually last match. It was a good. She put on a good performance.
Oh yeah,
She's not. If she was upset, you couldn't tell in her
right.
performance. So she went out like a pro.
I
Uh,
think I think she went out on her own terms. I don't know if she's going to link up with her other half, Matt Cardona, who's out on the indie scene, tearing it up. I mean, he wins everywhere he
he's
goes.
in TNA. I thought he's not in TNA.
Some he kind of spots there because he either gets hurt when he goes there or he just it's one off. It's kind of weird.
So what are they going to do with the two women?
That I don't know because I thought they had a great thing going. To me, they need to
Yes,
kind of put them with somebody else.
or just
I
have them
don't
two run it. Have them two run as a tag team,
kind of like as a female APA
possibly. You'd have to
as a
change their
security firm.
attitudes. You'd have to change their attitude. That would be really neat for they could go to Raw and Rosa Parks could hire them because they're going to need some help. But we'll talk about Raw here in a little bit. Um,
Yeah, we definitely will. But you don't watch a lot of NXT, but NXT Tag Team Champions Fraxium came up to SmackDown and beat Los Garzas. Really good match.
Great
Fraxium,
match.
I could see up on the main roster very soon.
Yes.
Jade and Tiffany had a pretty decent match that was had almost as many wardrobe malfunctions as it did actual maneuvers. Luckily, they do not shoot that show live and was able to keep the TV audience in the dark. No pun intended. But it was a solid match, and then we saw a bunch of people come back that ruined the end of that one. But it's
Yeah,
good to see
Naomi
Nia
jumped.
Jax and some of them back. So
Yeah, Naomi jumped on. I seen this Jade had said that the it was over, that they were done with each other, and Naomi said, I'm gonna touch on that Faxium right quick. I didn't know who they
yeah,
were. I watched the tag team. I mean, I watched the match, and I'm like, that Spanish fly off the top rope, and then I don't know what that other dude did. That backwards flip, turn around,
kind of I don't know, kind of a
but
whirly bird
uh,
splash or something. I'm
that's
not
I could be wrong. Like I said, I watched a little bit of highlights. Just wasn't there a TLC match for tag team titles on SmackDown as well?
um
That was on SmackDown. It was because
yeah,
it was
yeah. It was Street Profits and all them because they used the prosthetic leg as a weapon.
yes. SmackDown has the best tag teams,
Right now, yeah. Sure.
100%. Yeah, and now that you add these guys to it, because that so
Well,
I'm excited.
I want to see Fraxium and the Motor City Machine Guns because they are very,
Yes,
very
I was
similar.
about to
It's just
say
one group is about 20 years older than the other group, and that's the difference I want to see.
you took that. That's what I was getting to. The Street Profits are still the champions.
Yep,
It was Street Profits, Motor City Machine Gun, and who was the third team?
DIY.
Okay, another great team.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, this is the tag team in SmackDowns. That's gonna be interesting.
Oh
That
yeah.
was a great match too. That was a PLE match, 100%.
Oh, speaking of another one that could have been, even with the kind of wonky ending it had, was Drew McIntyre and LA Knight. Of course, that's a DQ as well because they both have other things going. But I kind of like how organically they let the two of them gravitate to each other early in the night, and then Nick Aldis was like, I don't have a better way to solve this than you and you later come back in the back, put your gear on, and then get back out there, and you two are going to fight. And they were doing a spectacular job. That was PLE worthy. We just got to see it on SmackDown.
I think tonight that sets up a possible four-way for the United States champion at Backlash. I think it'll be a
Good.
beautiful match. You got four guys that can go.
Yeah.
That's Priest, McIntyre, LA Knight, and Fatu.
Yep.
And right now Fatu is making everybody forget about Solo. They don't know what to do with Solo. Um,
That's
he
where I
might
was
need to go.
headed with this.
He might need to go to Raw.
Maybe. He almost they almost need to put him back with Roman, but not as an underling. That Roman says, "No, I'll welcome you back," but it's because we're going to band together and we're going to push ourselves back up again because Roman got knocked down a peg as well. So
Well,
you got to do something with Solo because him having to take over as tribal chief just didn't work.
it did not. It was too much for him too early. Why I say Solo goes to Raw with Roman to help take down Seth and the New Dangerous Alliance.
Yeah. Yeah, he's going to need
But
help. So, I could see him calling. I mean, you kind of got to leave the Usos alone now. You might could call Jimmy, but I
Jimmy,
mean,
yeah,
Solo's the obvious one because Solo's kind of, fish out of water. There's nowhere to really go. And Jacob Fatu pretty much said, I did all this without you. Why do I need you?
and I agree. I agree on adding them would just take too much away. Um, was that the final match of SmackDown?
The triple threat tag team was.
Okay, okay, okay. Yeah, which was a great match.
It actually
That's
was.
it reminded me of the Hardys, the Dudleys, and Edge and Christian.
Yeah, a lot like that.
So I mean, that could be what we're coming into. But SmackDown, out of 10, I give SmackDown it was a 8. Give it an 8.
Yeah, I had a 7.5 or 8. It was one of the better SmackDowns I've seen in a while.
But yeah, they did a good job. Almost perfect for me to give you a 9 or 10. So it's as close to. There wasn't any dead spots. Um,
No.
let's go back a little bit because I did want to talk about something for Raw. Nia Jax did attack Tiffany.
Yeah,
Um,
held the
I'm
belt up.
yes, I'm confused on why we took away the possibility of her at WrestleMania. Like why? Like and now all of a
Denia?
sudden she's back. Yes. Like I mean, I know
Um,
Charlotte had to get her stuff in, and
I was about to say there. To me, it's two parts. It's one that's Charlotte Flair, and they were trying to get instant credibility and name value, and it
and
kind
they
of
dropped the ball on that.
it almost backfired. Even Charlotte said she's kind of rethinking how she's going to present herself because she just felt like it didn't do what it needed to. And then I think Nia was hurt or she took some time off. Like she was away for a reason, whatever it was. It wasn't like Bailey where you just get taken off WrestleMania just so they can bring Becky Lynch back.
Yeah, yeah. It was so they left no. I didn't understand why she just disappeared.
Yeah,
So I mean, but
it's just like Sami Zayn, who we're gonna get into in a minute.
okay,
Sami asked to take some time away. Plus, he was a little dinged up. Like he asked to take that time away. He knew he was going to miss WrestleMania and he was going to miss part of that lead up. Like he knew he was going to be out. He because of Ramadan and some other stuff. He said, I just want to take a break and recharge." And it just happened to be that time period.
okay. Well, I'm happy to see her back. And speaking of Sammy, that's how we opened up Raw.
We did. We opened it up with Seth freaking Rollins, Paul Heyman, and Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker looking like some sort of trained assassin. Um, I got to think maybe his favorite Kennesaw media personality some of that may have rubbed off on him. He looked nice in a suit. But and then we get Sammy out there, and basically Rollins gives him the choice of either join us or you're a target, and I can't keep the hounds off of you.
And I don't even know if he wanted. I don't know if it's join us. I think it's more like get out of our way, or we will put you out of our way. I don't think they were looking at him.
Yeah, yeah,
It was like
it was kind of more of a step aside or get hit by the bus.
yeah, yeah, and he
Yeah, it
chose to
wasn't
stand
really
in
an
front of the
invite to
bus.
join them. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he chose to stand in front of the bus, and that bus.
So he ran at it. Like he was like, "Hey, I see that bus. Here we go."
And he got hit by the bus like 5 times, but that was at the end of the show. Yeah.
He got cut in half more times on Raw than a magician's assistant does during an entire summer tour.
Man, I'm telling you. I mean, we could touch a little bit on that match at the end of the Raw. Because I did
I
want to
mean, it was
say
a good
this.
match.
It was a great match, and that's what I was going to say. What I loved about it the most, yes, they're making Brock. I'm not Brock. See, Braun. They're making Braun out to be a beast, but he's not indestructible. Sammy got his moves in.
Oh, he did.
Sammy, it didn't make Sammy look weak at all, but at the
No.
same time, it made Braun still look like the beast that he is. There
Mm-hmm.
was times when Braun looked like he could get beat, and you seen the
Yeah.
worry on Paul's face. And so they're what they're doing with Braun and Seth and Paul is what they should have done with Solo and them.
Yeah,
because they made Solo look too strong, and I think they learned their lesson.
yeah, I think so. Yeah, we tied in. Yeah, I thought it was really great. I love Seth Rollins basically giving the take him out, and he didn't do the same dumb
Yeah,
Rock one. He just kind of looked like it's done. Like I gave him
and
the chance.
I, I love Seth. Like he is, he's so good. He's just so good. He's standing over there. The whole match didn't move, no facial expressions, just like he was just watching it go down. And I'm so looking forward to what they got planned for this for all this.
Yeah,
What else did we have? I seen that we got less than 10 minutes.
yeah. I'm gonna breeze through a couple of these, even though
Okay,
Raw was really really good
Raw was
too.
great. Yeah,
Rhea facing Roxanne Perez. They have faced off before. Fantastic. Roxanne Perez, you are going to see in the very near future, I think, a lot more.
Julie was
Like
there.
I said, I would actually say I would put her in Heyman's group if it were me, but
And Io Sky.
that's that one too. Yeah, oh, Roxanne and Io would be really really great. But yeah, Rhea and Roxanne really good. The War Raiders beating JD McDonough and Finn Balor in that tag match. Having Penta at the end, I know you're tying into a story that you're doing, but
It
I
made
could
no
have did without
sense.
Penta at the end.
Yeah,
I didn't need him at all. He was it was almost like having Carlito out there when Carlito doesn't interfere hardly ever. He just kind of stands out there.
yeah. So I didn't like that match at all.
And I like most of it until then because I'm a big fan of a lot of people, but JD McDonough to me does things that nobody else does in the ring. Most of the time, he sells moves better than video games will.
Evan Bourne, like,
Yeah, yeah, and he's not afraid to do that kind of stuff. That's how he dang near decapitated himself on the ringside table.
yeah.
But we had Stephanie Verker versus Ivy Nile. This should have been Ivy Nile's coming out party, and instead she either they booked this completely wrong or she just didn't step up when she needed to. She just folded like a wounded animal or something like that when she had the chance to really shine here.
I, I feel they're just trying to push Stephanie.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously, she is the NXT champion. I'm ready for her to drop the title on NXT so she become full time on Raw. They need to quit playing her. Like, I mean, it's almost pointless for her to. I don't know. I don't. I just think it's weird to have your NXT champion on Raw.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of want to keep her in NXT for a minute to keep solidifying that. I just once she runs through the division or at least the big heavy hitters down there, I want to see like her versus Charlotte, her versus a couple people like that, maybe her versus Bailey, and then she can drop
Her
the
and
title to
Becky.
Julia or something, and then move up at that point.
Yeah. Well,
But
she
yeah,
can't
Ivy
fight.
Nile is supposed to be like female Chad Gable, and at times she is really good and really shines like that. But
Yeah. Yeah. She.
you basically get put in a WrestleMania type hyped up match and just was not her best performance at all.
It really was, and I agree. I agree. Yeah. Um. But I mean, we're allowed to have some off days, I guess. Hopefully, that's what all it was for her. Yeah, there was a lot of women action on Raw. I guess also Becky was out there
I
with
was
the
just about to
United with
say,
the
there's
IC
three
champion.
segments. We've already went over the matches. Three segments to get into. Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch got into a screaming match about uh, what was going to happen with their feud. I don't know that it needed to be 7 or 8 minutes like it was, but that's fine. If this is basically Becky knowing that she probably has a couple years before she's going to step away for good, and she's trying to really build up the person
The women's, yeah, that's going to take
yeah
her
the
spot.
the next person that she wants to push up, and the best way to help your friend is to put them over, and so that's what she's trying to do.
I see it.
Of course, Patty Mack got his chance to address everything. He got a little heated. It kind of was more like a Pat McAfee show segment than it was something on Raw. They did have to censor a few things he said. At times, Michael
Yeah.
Cole looked a little uncomfortable about things he was saying, but he got his chance to do it. They're trying to build this match between him and Gunther that is happening in a week and a half, and he
Well,
uses his show. I listened to his show today. He uses his show to help try to build this. I wouldn't mind Gunther showing up on his show and being like a heated confrontation, just to help push it because this whole match is going to happen, not just for him. This is so that by SummerSlam, we're getting Gunther versus Goldberg.
well, there was a announcement made today. Scott Steiner will be in Pat's corner.
Yep,
That
and
I
and
think.
I think he's gonna go. Pat has a ring that he bought back when he was still in the league, the NFL. That's in his where he does his show there in his big studio. So he's been training. Every chance he gets, he's trained before. For people who don't know, he's trained for probably 15 years inside a wrestling ring.
Well, yeah, yeah. I've seen him do some stuff.
Yeah, but he invited Big Papa Pump up there to help him out and maybe try to stand in as the closest thing to Gunther he can have training.
And he's going to be on his show tomorrow. I think Scott Steiner is.
Might have to tune in live.
That's going to be an interesting show.
Wait,
I
no,
think
it
this
won't be
is
tomorrow. Tomorrow's
it'll be
Saturday.
it'll be tonight then today. It'll be because it said that he was going to be on the show on his next show.
I'll have to look. I wasn't all the way done listening by the time I got home. It is a 3 hour show.
Oh, he might have been on today's show then.
He might have been. I
Um,
might have been listening to yesterday's.
but I think this is what's going to help lead Goldberg. Gunther's going to do something to Scott Steiner, and that's going to kind of lead to possible Goldberg.
Yeah, because Scott can't go anymore.
Yeah,
He can some, but yeah.
he's not the same Scott. He's
And
not
then the
Big
last
Papa.
thing that we will definitely get a lot more into next week is it's something that you predicted, and it looks like that Jay Uso's first opponent out of the bricks is going to be one Logan Paul, and I think this could be a lot of fun. And I've got a great theory about it. I was debating it with some wrestling fans earlier today, and it made every one of them go, "I like that." And I was like, "Cool. Well, we will elaborate more on that next week, right?"
Oh, is that a backlash match already, or is that something you're going to say Monday?
I think it's a backlash match.
Hmm, interesting.
I don't know yet. I haven't seen an official card, but I mean they're a week and a half away. You kind of have to just start going, yep,
So,
yep, yep. Okay, here's what we're doing.
do our fans, our fellow watchers, need to look out for two shows on PLE weeks? So, is there going to be one show capping Friday and Monday, and the other show for our picks for Backlash
I mean, we could do two shows on that. Because
on the
this show,
PL
for people who don't know, is going to be on a Thursday or a Friday every week. Pretty much
every week?
that's
We're going to be talking
where
about
it's going to be one or the other, just as close as possible. If we ever move it, it'll be one day off from one of those. But
yes.
yeah, we'll have to. It'll be close to one of those. We'll talk about the previous Friday's SmackDown, the previous Monday's Raw, and we could do that and then do a picks one right after that. I don't see where that would be a problem.
Or we'll just check out times as we're going.
Yeah,
Yeah, that we'll be shooting from the hip. Hey guys, you got to roll with us here. This is the beginning of something. We're filling it out.
absolutely. Just workshopping as we're going. But as always, appreciate everybody tuning in to our new show. It does have the new name, Everything WWE except NXT. NXT will still be on the Strong Style show. Everything Raw, SmackDown, and PLE will be on this show. And as you guys know, we are straight shooters. We'll never feed you any kind of baloney because me and Daniel are the Backstage Jabronis.